Hi, I'm Sam. Come with me in my Microcamper Ladybug as we embark on an adventure on Scotland's North Coast 500.
Guys, we've made it to Inverness! Yes, Ladybug. That actually wasn't too bad. The A9 was quite quiet, and because most of it's 60 miles per hour, I didn't really stand out. It didn't really slow anything down. So our first stop in Inverness is, and the start of the North Coast 500, is at Culloden Battlefield, which I have wanted to come to forever. So let's go and have a look around and see what this is all about.
Culloden Battlefield is where on the 16th of April 1745 the Jacobite Rising came to a tragic end in a bloody battle that lasted just 1 hour. The red and blue flags signify each side, and you can visit the memorial cairn and the restored hospital cottage.
I have to say that was really interesting. It was around £12 to get into the museum. If you don't want a tour, I paid an extra £4 to have the 40-minute tour. You weren't allowed to take any photography or videography inside the museum itself, but you were allowed to take it when you were out on the battlefield. I had no idea about half of the stuff that I've just learnt. I thought that the Jacobites were all Scottish, they were all Highlanders. They weren't. It was a mixture of, there was English, Welsh, Irish, and the British army, the British government army that they were fighting at Culloden actually had Scottish in it. So it was more to do with a fight for the Stuarts being on the throne again, where Bonnie Prince Charlie and everything comes into it. But really interesting and worth a visit because I had no idea. Also, another fun fact, all of the gravestones that are here are all basically fake. They were put there by the person who owned the land in the 1800s, and he kind of tried to make it like a Scottish English thing, which isn't historically correct. And another thing, if you're coming here as an Outlander fan and you want to go and see the Fraser tomb stone, well, it's got bollards around it now because apparently some tourists were licking it last year. There you go.
What an absolutely glorious day again. Scotland this week has been, in fact the last couple of weeks, weather's been amazing, and I think that I am going to be super jammy on this trip and get some really good weather, which didn't happen the last time I did it, and I would probably suspect that most people who do the North Coast 500 don't get good weather. The only thing I'm worried about is with good weather comes the midges. Now they're not due to be out until usually the end of April, beginning of May, but if it's like super warm it can wake the bee mites up. So let's just hope that they're still asleep. Now this next place that we're going to is still in Inverness, and Maid is going to be sick that she didn't come on this trip because this is right up her street.
So welcome to Fortrose St George. Not a soul here. I don't even know if it's open. There's nobody here. It was open. They were all hiding inside from the cold wind.
Fort George was built in the wake of the Battle of Culloden as a secure base for King George II's army. It has served the British Army ever since. There's lots to see, as well as a cafe and a gift shop. The Highlanders Museum was especially interesting and has the largest collection of military artefacts outside of Edinburgh. Guys, there's dress up. Some of the more interesting things on display include a fragment of Hitler's marble desk and his personal dispatch box, both taken from his bunker.
Guys, I'm being spoilt today with the old dress up, aren't I? What are we fancying here? We could stay here all day, but we've got places to be and things to see, so that's a dress up over for today. So Fort St George was actually epic. I feel like I had the entire place to myself. And there was other people there, but it's so vast that you literally feel like you're the only person. I mean, and it's been built to obviously keep people out, but man, it don't work for the wind. It was windy, but a beautiful day, so we shall not complain. So welcome to destination number 3 on day 1 of the North Coast 500, and we're off to Waterfall. Now, I have watched quite a lot of videos, as I'm sure that you all do when you're planning a trip, so I saw this was suggested by Robbie Roams and Jamie's Adventures, which if you're looking to do the North Coast 500, I would totally recommend that you look at their videos, because they give lots of hints and tips of places to go as well. Nearly missed the car park, so if you put it on your sat nav, it's before it tells you the Fairy Glens, it's actually the car park on the right hand side. So as soon as you're within 2 minutes of what it says on your sat nav and you see the car park, just go in there, because I ended up the hill. So just one little minor error today, that's fine. So I'm not sure we're going to actually be able to see what we want to see, because it said something about a landslide, but we'll go for a walk anyway. Yep, so as expected, it's blocked. I think there's been a landslide or something, so you can't get to it. That's a shame. I think there's plenty of waterfalls to see on this trip, so it's still a nice wee walk. Thankfully, it's not too far from the campsite, so we've only got about 5 minutes and we'll go and get settled. I have not had anything to eat or drink all day other than some water, and I am shattered. And we've still not even finished. We've still got stuff planned. I do always say we, not the Queen. I have still got lots to share with you. there's two campsites that you can stay in this on the Black Isle, and that is Fortrose. By the way, why is it called the Black Isle? I'm gonna have to Google that. I don't actually know. Anyway, there is Fortrose caravan site where we stayed in 2020, and there's also Rosemarcle, which I've never stayed at, but I loved Fortrose, and that was like number one for me to book on this this trip, and that's where we'll be staying. So let's go get Ladybug and set off for the campsite.
It cost £31 including electric for my pitch at Fortrose Bay Campsite. I was on pitch 1, situated right behind the toilet block, so I had a good look around before getting settled in. Facilities were basic but clean, and the view over the Moray Firth was out of this world. The campsite warden told me if I was quick I might be lucky enough to catch the dolphins at Chanonry Point, so I hurried along as quickly as I could. The best time to spot them is an hour after low tide, which I had narrowly missed, so I wasn't lucky enough to spot any, sadly.
Oh, it's lovely and sheltered here. I might just have 5 here, away from that wind. Well, I've already had my first disaster of the trip. Cannot for the life of me get the electrics to work. I can see that the battery is taking like 18 amps in from the electric hookup, but nothing's lighting up, nothing's working. So I've changed all the fuses and still not working. I don't know what's wrong with it. So you know how I was saying about being au naturel and going back to my authentic self? Well, there's gonna be no hair straighteners or hair dryers or any of those kind of luxuries, and don't know how I'm going to charge my equipment. I knew that I should have bought a power bank. I knew it. When you've got a view like this though, it's not too bad, is it? It's maybe not a bad thing. Who needs to be sitting watching Netflix all night?
Well, that's us come to the end of the first day on the North Coast 500. I'll leave you with some beautiful drone footage I took over Fortrose Bay. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again next week for the next episode of my epic adventure with Ladybug.